Good day, class. Today we're going to study about factoring the difference of two perfect squares. Now, in all of the factoring method, or if we are going to factor polynomials, this is the easiest one. Why? Because in difference of perfect squares, we are going to factor only a binomial. Binomial means we have only two terms. So you can see here that we have only two terms here, 1 and 2. And if we have two terms, we know it is a binomial. So if we have only two terms, first, before we factor that one, see to it that we don't have a common monomial factor. That's why in all factoring, including the complete factoring, you need to remove the common monomial. Now, if you don't have any common monomial, then you can proceed to look for this binomial if these binomials are perfect squares. What do you mean by perfect squares? Perfect square numbers we have here, and we have the perfect square variables here. I just put x. It doesn't mean that if this one is a letter x only, we use letter x only, it's all letter x. No, you can use x, y, z. You can use any letters, A, B, C, or any letter of the alphabet. So what are these square numbers? Square numbers are numbers that we can take its square root and it is exact. 1 is a square number because if we take the square root of 1, symbol for square root is this one. Okay, symbol of square root, this one. So if you have square root of 1, the answer is 1. Square root of 4, like that, and our answer is 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. This one is a square number because the square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 25 is 5. For the variables here, the square root of x squared is x. The square root of our x to the 4th is x squared. The square root of x to the 6th is x cubed. The square root of x to the 8th is x to the 4th. And x to the 10th square root is x to the 5th. So, to get the square root of these variables, all we need to do is just divide it by 2, by 2, by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's why this one is x cubed. This one is 8 divided by 2, x to the 4th. Divided by 2 is x to the 5th. So that's how we get the square root of a variable. Okay, let's have this one. So we have to identify whether these two terms here are perfect squares. If one of them is a perfect square and the other one is not, we cannot apply our difference of perfect squares. Now here, class, we have x squared, which is a perfect square. The y squared here is a perfect square. Alright, how will you know if they are perfect squares? They are numbers and they are perfect squares. Their exponents are even. You see, they are even. So we are not stopping on a 10th here, class. It's 12, 14, 10,000, 12,000, 124, they are all even exponent and they are perfect square variable. So here half of 2 is 1, so that one is 1, this one is perfect square. So how do we use the difference of perfect squares? Factoring. Okay, we have two factors here. First factor and the second factor. This one is plus, this one is minus, this one is minus, or this one is plus. It's also correct. Now, we can see here that there is no middle term, because the middle term here, if we are going to multiply these two factors here, the middle term will be 0. So you won't see the middle term here. All we can see is the first term and the last term. Okay? Or the first term and the third term of a trinomial, in which this one is not a trinomial anymore because we don't have the middle or the second term. Okay, because if we multiply this plus we multiply this, we get 0. So there is no middle term here if we multiply the factors after factoring. Okay, so here, something like, let's have number 1. Put like this. Now you do this one only after checking or testing whether this and this are perfect squares. And then after that, you put the sign. Make sure the signs are different. One is positive, the other one is negative. Is it alright to make this one as negative and the other one positive? Yes, it is also correct. But do not put this one's positive, this one's positive, no. Negative, and this one is also negative, no also. That one is for the perfect square trinomial, which we are going to have that one after this, difference of perfect squares. So let us put everything here like this one. For number 2 here, okay. Can I erase this one class? Okay. Now we can put minus and plus. It's alright, they are the same. Now for this one, the same also. So we have, if you want, the plus first and then the minus second one. Okay. Now this one, okay, it's plus and minus. Oh, this one is a fraction, so let us make it a little bit bigger, and then we have plus, and then we have this one as minus. If you don't like, okay, you make this one as plus and minus, and this one is plus. Now let us factor this one. What is the square root of x squared? It's x. X times x squared. Okay. 36. Square root of 36 is 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. So we put here the 6. Forget this one. Copy. X minus 6. That's the answer. Okay, number 2. We have this one. X to the 6. And half of 6 is 3. So this one will become x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, finish with the first one. 100. The square root of 100 is 10. Because 10 times 10 is 100. So we put here 10. And then we'll just copy this one. X cubed and the 10 here. Okay. Okay, number 3. It's a squared b to the 4th minus c10. So let's have the first letter here. The first variable a squared. It will be a here. Okay. And the b will become b. Half of 4 is 2. And then because that's minus, this one is plus. And then c to the 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we have c to the 5th here. Then we'll just copy. We have a b squared. This is plus. So this should be minus c to the 5th here. Okay, that is our answer. Okay, number 4. We have 9. So that one is 3. Okay, we put the 3. Square root of 9 is 3. Okay, square root of x squared. 2 divided by 2 is 1. X to the 1st. And then, no need because we have the sign there already. 25 is 5. And then, this one is y. Because y times y is y squared. Then we just copy this one. 3x and 5y. For number 5, we have a fraction, so we put first the fractional bar. Fraction again, a fractional bar. And we have also fractional bar here. because there's minus. We have a plus here, and then the fractional bar. It's better to write first the fractional bar, so our fraction will be centered here. Alright, 16 square root is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, square is k. Okay, 25 square root is 5. Okay, 49 is 7 times 7, 49. L squared is L. Then we copy 4k, and then 5, and then 7L. That's it.